Welcome to the number 25, or November 17th edition of WWMS, our weekly Friday Flex show here on the Fairfield Woods YouTube channel. And it's been 2 weeks since our last episode, so we're really happy to be back. As we usually do, we will break down some news on a variety of topics, including my interview with pop singer Ashley Paul. But first, let's start off with our joke of the week. And it's a dad joke. I was so bright as a kid that my dad called me his son. We hope you guys got some enjoyment out of that very funny joke. We have many things to break down in today's episode, but before that, we would all like to say thank you to you guys as we hit 100 subscribers on the Fairfield Woods Middle School YouTube channel. This is a huge milestone for me and my entire announcements crew, and we are very, very thankful that we have been able to reach that amount. Thank you guys so much. In other news for soccer, the Ballon d'Or ceremony took place this year in Paris, France. The Ballon d'Or is awarded each year to the best soccer player in the world. Many celebrities showed up to the ceremony, such as tennis star Novak Djokovic and YouTube streamer iShowSpeed. The trophy was awarded to none other than Inter Miami's Lionel Messi, who has now won his 8th Ballon d'Or, more than anyone else of all time. Now, there has been a ton of controversy in the past in regards to if Messi should have won the award 8 times. But whether people like it or not, one of the greatest to ever play soccer still remains the best in the world. For our gamers out there, Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft are developing a game based on the hit movie Avatar. The game will be titled Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora and will release on December 7th, 2023 for Windows, Xbox Series S and X, and PlayStation 5. The game will be a free roam game, meaning you can go anywhere on the map. Sadly, though, there are barriers at the edges of the map, meaning you can't go absolutely anywhere. The movie series ended up bringing in $5.2 billion worldwide, with the two movies separated 13 years apart. But now let's go to Arav's geopolitical segment about Veterans Day and more.
What's up, dudes? Last Friday, November 10th, 2023, we had the day off in observation of Veterans Day. This holiday commemorates the more than 18 million veterans who have served in any of the 6 U.S. military branches: the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard, the Marine Corps, the Navy, and more recently, the Space Force. The first Veterans Day was not even called Veterans Day. It was called Armistice Day to commemorate the end of World War I. Armistice Day was officiated by Congress in 1938 as a day to celebrate the cause of world peace. But soon after, the day was changed to Veterans Day to honor the people themselves who served in the Korean War, World War II, and World War I. The official day that was to be celebrated bounced around from annually on November 11th to the 4th week of October to a bunch of other dates before coming back to November 11th as it once was. If the 11th falls on a Saturday or Sunday, as it happened this year, schools, government offices, and businesses are to provide a day off on the Monday or Friday preceding or following the holiday. Today, people recognize the physical and mental struggles veterans go through, from PTSD to suicidal thoughts. In other news for today's segment, New York City's Grand Central Terminal has been closed for the second time in the past month because of recent protests in the area. The first closure was Friday, October 27, 2023, when protesters stormed the main concourse, causing Metro North service to terminate at Harlem 125th Street, the penultimate stop, and causing Long Island Railroad service to be limited. Separately, on November 8, 2023, access to the terminal was limited because of protests near the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt entrances, along with the 105 East 42nd Street ramp. Through this, 4, 5, 6, 7, and shuttle service have also been severely slowed. Now, before we wrap up today's segment, here's a little trivia. So, how many countries are there in the world? I'll give you a minute to think about it. Well, if you guessed 197 countries, you would be correct. And with that, peace out, dudes!
You can find more content from Arav on The Geopolitical, which is a podcast on all podcast platforms, or you could go to his website, thegeopolitical.net, where you could also access his Substack newsletter. But now for our interview this week, I had the wonderful privilege of speaking to a singer and artist, Ashley Paul, and here are the best moments. So why don't I start off, I think we should realize, when did you realize you wanted to be a singer? And then once you did, what did you really do to pursue that passion and make it a reality?
So, I started really young. I was in disco when I was 10 years old. I was very inspired by Donna Summer, and Melissa Manchester, who actually I recently did a co-write with, but we can talk about that later. She was one of my idols. And, you know, I started doing this touring show in the Southeast where I was dressed up in disco pants, you know, like red disco top, red disco pants. And I was able to do all kinds of songs, like Donna Summer's tracks, Melissa Manchester tracks. And I knew at that point that that was what I wanted to do.
Ashley has released songs like Love Light Me Up, Feel Your Fire, and Come and Get Me, all of which have ranked on the top 10 in pop dance charts in countries like Germany and Switzerland. Ashley has been on many popular news channels, and Love Light Me Up has been ranked as one of the top 100 summer pop dance songs by iTunes.
You know, it's very different from, let's say, some singer-songwriters who play the guitar brilliantly, or they just, you know, go on the piano and they play it and they pour their heart out. It's very different. It's just a different animal. So we'll go and we'll do the disco track, at the disco board. And I feel like when I was with Gemini, I heard what we did and I said, oh my God, I feel illuminated. Illuminate me. Like that's how I felt, you know. And I said to Gemini, I said, love light me up, illuminate me. And I said that to him, and he was like, oh my God, Ashley, that's our song. That's our song.
Yep. So, like, what skill do you think you have, or how have you been able to achieve this amount of success with so many different songs?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just keep working at what I love. You know, I just keep creating. I mean, I'm a creator.
She also just recently released a new song, Bingo Baby, another release that is expected to blow up the charts. Bingo Baby. What do you most like about it? What do you feel like is going to intrigue your audience most to listen? What part of the song?
You know, it was just such an interesting co-write with, you know, Richie Neville, who's a huge big boys band of the Five in the UK, and Liam Keegan, who's a producer. And I don't know, it was just an amazing vibe, and the chemistry was so fantastic between the three of us. And then I said something at lunch like "Bingo Baby," like I was being silly, you know, and then they looked at me and they're like, that's our song, let's go back to the studio. It's so crazy how it comes out. I'm just telling you, it's so funny.
You can find more content from Ashley on her YouTube page and on Spotify, and can maybe even go to her tour, which is expected to be this summer. Ashley, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
You can also find the full interview on the Cool Sports Network. In other news, Amazon Prime subscribers can now get a discount to medical service One Medical. One Medical is a service when people can get the best care from medical professionals, and Amazon closed in a deal to buy it for $3.9 billion back in February. But it was just announced last week that Amazon Prime subscribers can now get a subscription to the service. But this is not the first time Prime has tried to intrigue new customers to subscribe to their service. The streaming service started close to 20 years ago and is only second to Netflix in revenue across all streaming platforms. But with very little, if any, profit coming out of it, Amazon Prime has made huge moves, like becoming the owners of Thursday Night Football and now of One Medical. Seems Jeff Bezos isn't giving up on making Prime a household name for years to come. That will do it here for the number 25 or November 17th edition of WWMS. We hope you guys enjoyed and learned a thing or two along the way, and thank you guys so much for helping us get to 100 subscribers. Alongside Arav Kapoor and an amazing behind-the-scenes crew, you guys know the drill. I am your host, Chase Coburn, and we will see you next time here on WWMS. Peace out. Boom!